The story you are about to hear is real. It was written by a young man who knew that tomorrow was not promised. Not a general, not a hero in the history books, just a son, writing to the only people who had ever truly known him. This is not a story of victories or defeats, but a story of love, loyalty, and quiet courage. It is a story written in the lonely hours between battles, under a sky heavy with rain and smoke. Sit with us now. Let your heart be still. Some stories are not meant to be shouted. They are meant to be heard in a whisper. Letter 1. Life at the front and the longing for home. Dear Mom and Dad, tonight the camp is quieter than usual, a strange kind of quiet, the kind that settles before a storm or after one has passed, leaving everything washed clean but heavy with a memory of what was. The men are huddled around small fires, their faces half lit by the flickering flames, laughing too loudly at tired jokes, trying to ward off the chill that seeps deeper than the night air. Maybe it's the cold, or maybe it's something deeper, a weariness that settles into bones, but tonight feels different. There's a tension in the air, a shared unspoken understanding that hangs heavy like the humidity before a downpour. I'm writing with fingers stiff from the cold, the ink barely flowing from the pen, bundled in a jacket that still somehow lets the wind slip through, a constant reminder of the exposed, unforgiven world outside our small circle of firelight. Everything here smells of damp earth and old wool, of wood smoke and something else I can't quite place, a metallic tang that lingers in the air, a constant undercurrent to the more familiar scents. The mud clings to our boots, a thick, stubborn layer that weighs us down with every step, clinging not just to our clothes, but it feels sometimes to our souls, a constant reminder of the ground we stand on, a ground soaked in conflict. Sometimes I think the war isn't fought with bullets and bombs alone, but with mud, cold, and endless waiting, with the gnawing uncertainty of what the next hour might bring. It's the waiting that gets to you, the long stretches of monotony punctuated by moments of sheer terror, a constant push and pull that wears away at your resolve. I missed a porch swing. I missed the way the wood would creak in that familiar rhythm as Dad leaned back with his coffee in the morning, the newspaper rustling in his hands, the quiet contentment that seemed to radiate from him in those early hours. I missed the smell of bacon frying, Mom humming softly to herself as she stirred the grits, a simple melody that always filled the kitchen with warmth and a sense of peace. I missed the feel of Tommy's small hand slipping trustingly into mine when the thunder rolled in during the summer storms, his small body pressed close, seeking comfort in the midst of the chaos. Out here, it's always storming, even when the sky is clear and the sun beats down with relentless force. There's a storm inside, a constant turbulence of fear and longing. The worst part isn't the noise of the explosions, the sharp crack of gunfire. It's the silence that follows, heavy and sharp, like the world is holding its breath, waiting for the next blow to fall. But when I close my eyes, I can still hear the screen door slamming shut with that familiar, slightly off-kilter thud. I can still smell the sawdust from Dad's workshop, the scent of freshly cut wood and machine oil, still see Mom's hands kneading bread at the kitchen counter, the flour dust in her apron like a light snow. You are with me in ways you might never realize, in the smallest memories that surface unexpectedly, bringing a fleeting moment of comfort in this desolate place. Some of the men say they fight for glory or for their country, but me? I fight for Sunday afternoons in the backyard, the smell of freshly cut grass, for pumpkin pie cooling on a windowsill, its sweet, spicy aroma filling the house, for the sound of my brother laughing, a bright, unrestrained sound that always chased away the shadows. I fight for the life you gave me, for the simple beauty of the world I left behind. And when it gets bad, and sometimes it does, when the fear is a cold knot in my stomach and the world seems to tilt on its axis, I think of home, of the warmth of your love, and it's enough to keep me standing, to push back against the darkness. It's enough to keep me human, to remind me of what I'm fighting to return to. All my love, James. Letter 2. Words I never said. Dear Mom and Dad, there are things I should have told you a long time ago. Words that have lingered unspoken, feelings I kept locked away, thinking I had all the time in the world to say them, to share them. Funny how we always operate under that illusion, that time is an endless resource, a river that will flow forever at our command. I don't think I ever truly thanked you, not the way you deserved, not with the depth of gratitude that now fills me, for the countless sacrifices you made, the sleepless nights spent worrying, the quiet anxieties you never spoke aloud, carrying the weight of our lives on your shoulders with unwavering strength. I took so much for granted, the simple acts of love that formed the bedrock of our family. I thought love was something you felt, a silent understanding that passed between us, not something you necessarily needed to articulate, to put into clumsy words. Out here, surrounded by the stark realities of life and death, I've learned that love unspoken is sometimes love lost, a precious thing left unacknowledged, a warmth that fades without the fuel of expression. I remember slamming the door in youthful frustration when I didn't get my way, retreating into sullen silence, sulking through family dinners, convinced that the world was somehow aligned against my teenage desires. I remember rolling my eyes, that know-it-all teenage dismissal, at your well-intentioned advice, thinking you couldn't possibly understand the complexities of my young life. And yet, no matter how many times I tested your patience, how often I pushed you away with my youthful arrogance, you always left the light on for me, a beacon in the darkness, a silent promise of welcome and forgiveness. You always left the light on both literally and figuratively, a constant reassurance that I always had a place to return to. Mom, you showed me what true kindness looked like, a gentle strength that persevered even when the world around us was anything but kind. Your empathy, a guiding star in moments of uncertainty. Dad, you showed me what real strength looked like, a quiet resilience that wasn't loud or boastful, wasn't rooted in aggression or cruelty. It was in your steady hands, calloused but capable, in the way you fixed broken things around the house without a word of complaint. Your quiet competence, a lesson in perseverance. It was in the way you showed up every single day for our family, no matter how tired you were, your unwavering presence a silent testament to your dedication. I think about those quiet nights we sat on the porch, the sky stretching wide and dark above us, a canvas dotted with a million distant stars. You didn't say much, Dad. You just sat there in comfortable silence, a reassuring presence beside me, letting me be small and foolish and angry until I was ready, in my own time, to be better, to find my way back to equilibrium. And Mom, you filled the silences with music, a soft, comforting hum under your breath, filling the air with something gentle and steady, a lullaby against the anxieties of the world. I didn't realize at the time what a precious gift that was, a soothing balm for the unspoken worries of childhood. Out here, there's no music, no gentle hum to fill the silence, just the low rumble of heavy trucks moving through the night, the sharp, authoritative bark of orders cutting through the air, the distant, unsettling echo of gunfire that serves as a constant reminder of the danger that surrounds us. I carry your music with me, Mom. I hum your songs under my breath, those simple melodies, a lifeline in the long, dark nights when the world feels too heavy to bear, a connection to a time of peace and security. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, what challenges we will face, what dangers lie ahead, but tonight, under this vast and indifferent sky, I needed you to know I'm proud to be your son, proud of the values you instilled in me, proud of the family we are. I'm proud of the life you gave me, a life filled with love and laughter and the unwavering support that has carried me through so much. And if tomorrow is my last sunrise, if this is the final chapter of my story, let it be enough to know that I was loved so fiercely, so completely, so well. I love you more than I ever found the words to adequately express. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything. All my love, James. Letter 3. A quiet goodbye. Dear Mom and Dad, they told us tonight, their voices low and serious, that we're moving out before dawn. The air in the briefing room was thick with a kind of quiet tension, the kind that precedes a major operation. No details were given, no promises offered, just the kind of orders you learn not to question. Orders that carry an unspoken weight of consequence. The men are quiet tonight, a stillness that speaks volumes more than any boisterous camaraderie. Some are meticulously sharpening their knives, the rhythmic scraping sound oddly domestic in this harsh environment. Others are cleaning their rifles with a kind of tenderness usually reserved for children, their movements slow and deliberate, almost reverent. Me? I'm writing to you, finding solace in the familiar act of putting pen to paper, trying to capture these last thoughts before the uncertainty of tomorrow descends. It's strange, isn't it? How at the end of things, when the weight of the unknown presses down, we always seem to come back to where we began, to the fundamental connections that anchor us to the world. I keep thinking about the porch light at home, that simple beacon that always burns steadily through the night. I can almost see it now, casting a small, comforting circle of gold on the front steps, a welcoming glow that always kept the darkness at bay, a silent promise of safety and belonging. I'm not afraid. I want you to know that, truly. Not because I think I'm invincible, because I'm certainly not acutely aware of my own vulnerability in this brutal landscape, but because I know that love, the love we share, is stronger than fear, a powerful force that transcends even the most daunting circumstances. And you gave me a life so full of love, a wellspring of warmth and support, that even here, in this cold and unforgiving place, even now, facing the uncertainty of what lies ahead, it fills me up, sustains me. If I don't come home, if my journey ends here, don't let grief anchor you to the ground. Don't let sorrow consume you. Let it move through you like the seasons, a natural cycle of loss and renewal, like the river by the old mill, flowing slow and steady and sure, eventually finding its way to the sea. Plant tomatoes in the spring. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin as you tend the garden. Watch the lilacs bloom by the kitchen window, their fragrant blossoms a reminder of the beauty that still exists in the world. Laugh too loud at bad jokes. Find joy in the simple absurdities of life. Sit on the porch in the evenings and let the screen door bang shut behind you with that familiar sound, a small comforting disruption in the quiet. Live. Embrace the life that remains, the life I was so fortunate to share with you. Don't build a shrine out of my absence, a monument to what was lost. Build a life that honors the love we shared, the memories we created together, because that's what truly matters. The connections we forged, the love that bound us. Not the uniform I wear, not any medals I might receive, not the fleeting headlines in a newspaper. Just the way you loved me, unconditionally and without reservation, and the way I loved you with all my heart and soul. That's what lasts, what endures beyond the fleeting nature of this world. That's what truly wins, the love that remains. I'll be carrying you with me in the morning, your love a shield against the unknown. Carry me with you too, in your hearts and in your memories, always, James. The conclusion: James Robert Hayes never came home. And now, our final thoughts. James Robert Hayes never came home. The vibrant promise of his youth was extinguished in a distant land, a sacrifice made in a conflict that stretched across continents and claimed countless lives. His parents received the news on a rainy afternoon in late September, the sky mirroring the tears that would soon fall. A hesitant knock at the door, a somber-faced officer standing on their porch, a few carefully chosen words delivered with practiced solemnity that shattered the world they knew, leaving behind an irreparable void. They buried him with the others who never grew old, never came back to fix the porch steps or chase children through the fields again. His letters arrived a week later, bundled together with official documents. Worn at the edges from handling, they were still miraculously intact, each crease and fold a testament to their perilous journey. His mother, her heart a leaden weight in her chest, kept them in a small, intricately carved wooden box on the mantelpiece. Beside it lay a faded photograph of James in his crisp uniform, his young face beaming with a hopeful smile, looking as though he had all the time in the world stretching out before him. She would take them out sometimes, in the quiet hours when the house felt too empty, too silent, when the ache of his absence was a physical pain, a sharp, relentless pang in her heart. She would run her trembling fingers over the faded ink, tracing the familiar loops and curves of the words he had written with a trembling hand under a foreign sky, each stroke a ghostly echo of his presence. She never read them aloud, the words too sacred, too raw to be spoken into the empty air. She didn't need to. His voice was still there, imprinted on her memory, stitched into the very fabric of the home he loved so fiercely, echoing in the quiet corners and the familiar routines. And every evening, as the sun dipped low below the horizon, casting long shadows across the familiar landscape, and the porch light flickered on, a solitary beacon against the encroaching darkness, she would sit by the window, her gaze fixed on the empty swing, humming the same soft, comforting tune James had once carried with him, a silent lullaby against the harsh realities of battle, a melody of love that transcended time and distance. Some goodbyes are never truly said, The words caught in the throat, the finality too unbearable to utter. Some hearts, once given freely and completely, never truly leave, their presence lingering in the memories and the love that remains. Thank you for listening to James's story. If his words touched your heart, please take a moment to share your thoughts below. Leave a comment, light a candle in his memory, or simply hold your loved ones a little closer tonight. Subscribe to our channel for more stories like this. Stories that remind us that even in the darkest times, love endures. Until next time, take care. And remember, some letters are never lost. They live on in the hearts they leave behind.